warm welcome to today's session, my future leaders. This is Harshi, your SST friend. Today I am continuing with the chapter number 4, which is the coastal plains and the islands of the course book Time Travelers Knowledge Series by Amit Publishing House. Right? So let's do the warm up exercise together. Have a glance of this picture. Complete the brushes about the having a holiday on coast of Coromandel. Coromandel is a coast. Use these words here. Some words have been given in the box. You need to find out the appropriate word and just complete this, right? If you are looking for a beautiful dash to relax on, this is the place for you. If you are looking for a beautiful what? Beautiful sandy beach to relax on. Sandy beach to relax on. So this is the place for you kids. Here you can sit under the dash, under the shady palm trees. Shady palm trees with a book in one hand and dash in another hand in a ice cold drink on other hand. Ice cold drink. Or simply lie on dash and dream away. Simply lie on golden sand. Beaches are sandy, right? Simply lie on the golden sand and dream away. Just walk along the shore. Shore is what, kids? Shore is the soil or the area near the sea, right? It is adjoining the sea. So shore, walk along the shore on pleasant day and feel the refreshingly, the dash blowing from the sea. What? Blowing? Cool breeze, blowing, cool breeze blowing from the sea. Go for swimming in the dash and feel your worries fade away in the greenish bluish water. Greenish bluish water. Okay, and feel your worries fade away. Right, kids? So let's begin with chapter with the islands and coastal plains. We broadly we know that what is coastal and what is the islands, right? A flat and level land is called a plain. Land which is flat or even is called what? Plain. A coastal plain is the plain area which is adjoining the sea, right? So this is flat, and low-lying area means this is not highland. Highland means mountains and hills. So this is the flat area, low-lying area that is adjoining or near the sea. So we call it coastal plains. On the other hand, and the island is what? Island is the piece of land which is surrounded by water from all sides, right? Very small islands are known as atolls, cays and islets. Alright, so let's start with coastal plains. In the eastern and western sides of the Indian peninsula, we have discussed the landmass which is covered by water from three sides. And India is a peninsular country, right? It is covered from three sides from water. First, like in the west, what is? It is Arabian Sea. In the east, it is Bay of Bengal, and in the bottom side or in the south side, it is Indian Ocean. So India is a peninsular country. There are narrow coastal plains. We have when in the chapter when we were doing the plateau, southern plateau, we have learned about the eastern and western Ghats, right? So there are narrow coastal plains, the coastline between the Arabian Sea in the west, right? And between the Arabian Sea and the Western Ghats, it is known as Western Coastal Plains, and the coastline which is between the Bay of Bengal and Eastern Ghat, it is known as Eastern Coastal Plains, right? The Deccan Plateau separates these coastal plains which meet at these Eastern Ghats and the Western Ghats meets where? It meets at Kanyakumari, right? So Deccan Plateau, we have learned the plateaus, the Central Highland and the Deccan Plateau. Narmada River divides into the upper portion is Central Highland and the bottom one or the southern point is called the Deccan Plateau. So this is the meeting point of Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats meet at the southernmost tip of India, right? So Western Coastal Plains. The Western Coastal Plains extends from Gujarat. Our coastline covers near about 9 states, kids, and out of 9, 5 are in western parts, Western Coastal Plains. Yes. So it extends from Gujarat coast in the western. We have seen in the map Gujarat. So it extends from Gujarat northwest to the Kerala coast to the south, right? So Arabian Sea and the Western Ghats. The Western Coastal Plains are divided into 3. That is Gujarat coast, Konkan coast, and third one is Malabar coast. These 3 coasts, or you can say the Western Coastal Plains is again, we can write like this, Western Coastal Plain, Western Coastal Plains divided into 3. Which coast? First is Gujarat coast, Gujarat coast. Second is Konkan coast, Konkan coast. And the third is Malabar coast. Right, kids? Now, the states. I told you the coastline of India covers 9 states, right? And out of 9, 5 are in Western Coastal Plains. So, states like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka and Kerala are the part of this Western Coastal Plain. And Kochi is an important port of the Malabar coast. Port is where the ships, the cargo ships gets loaded and unloaded this port. So Kochi is very important port of Malabar coast. Yes, we have learned 3 coasts. Gujarat at the first. If you see the Gujarat, this is the coastline, let's say. So this is the Gujarat coast. Second is Konkan. And the third is Malabar. Right? So in this way, the Kochi is important port of Malabar coast. Now, the coastal plains are narrow, rocky and rugged in nature. Narrow, rocky and rugged. Rugged means it is very hard or it is rocky, and they are narrow also. They are narrow as compared to the eastern coastal plains. So, these plains are narrow, rocky and rugged in nature. The Gujarat coast is borders between the Gulf of Kutch and Gulf of Khambar. Gulf of Kutch, it is wider. The Gujarat coast, you can see this kind. I am not very good in drawing the things, kids. So this is like, this is type of structure of Indian map. So this area covers the Gujarat, right, and the Gulf of Thambat and Gulf of Gujarat. The coastline is wider. All right. Now, the Konkan coast, south of Gujarat. We have learned the Gujarat coast, then Konkan coast. So, Konkan coast has coastline which is narrow, rocky, uneven, and intended. Yes, unintended means in zigzag form. It is not even, right? So Gujarat coastline, this is narrow, rocky, uneven, and intended, and thus it is ideal for establishing harbors and ports. So you should know the important ports of Western coastal line, because we are learning about the coastline of India. So it is divided into two, western and eastern. So western coastline is again divided into three. First is Gujarat coast, then Konkan coast, and then Malabar coast. And the important ports of these coast is Kandla in Gujarat, Jawaharlal Nehru or Nhava Sheva in Mumbai, and Marmagao in Goa. Right. The Kochi is important port in Kerala. Are some of its important ports. Now you can see the picture of Kandla port. Right. This is the port. Here ships are getting loaded or unloaded. Right. So let's discuss about the climate, vegetation, and life of the people in this region. The western coastal plains experience a hot and humid climate. Humid means what, kids? Means the presence of water vapor in the air, right? So because of the presence of water vapor, the atmosphere is, or the climate is humid. They face hot and humid climate throughout the year and receive heavy downpour. Downpour means heavy rainfall from the summer, right? Monsoon. Summer to monsoon. Summer season to monsoon season, they receive heavy rainfall, and the humid and hot climate is throughout the year. Apart from farming, fishing is the major occupation because of the sea. Fishing is the main occupation of the people living in this area. Next is what all the crops are going here. Vegetation, rice, coconut, cashew nuts, tobacco, and groundnuts are cultivated here because of the moisture that is present in the air, moisture rich conditions. Alright, so you know now what all the crops are grown here. It is rice, coconut, cashew nuts, tobacco, and groundnuts, right, are cultivated in these areas, right. So that was all for the western coastal plains. Let's start with the eastern coastal plains. Eastern coastal plains lies between the Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal, right? And it stretches from West Bengal to Tamil Nadu. It extends from West Bengal to Tamil Nadu. They are lined between Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. These plains are divided into two. As in western coastal plains, it is divided into three, but eastern coastal plains divided into two, and that are northern Sarkars and the Coromandel coast. We have seen in the Coromandel coast, right, in the first picture or the warm-up exercise, right? So, Coromandel coast is the part of eastern coastal plains, right? So northern Sircars and the Coromandel coast in the south. So these plains are broader than the western coastal plains. I told you western coastal plains are not as wider as eastern coastal plains. So eastern coastal plains are wider than the western coastal plains. These plains moves across the city. I told you 9 states, right? So 5 covers under the western coastal plains and 4 in the eastern coastal plains. Let's see the West Bengal, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. These states are part of the eastern coastline. The sea waves here are stronger and bigger than those on the western coastal plains due to this shallow coast, right? So sea waves are stronger and bigger, right? So it lacks good harbors but forms well-developed delta. Chennai and Visakhapatnam are the two largest ports, right? Here you can see the port of Chennai, the Chennai port, which is in Tamil Nadu. The state is Tamil Nadu and the city is Chennai, right? And Chennai and Visakhapatnam are the two largest ports of the eastern coastal plain. So let's see the climate, vegetation and life of the people in this region. The eastern coastal plains experience again hot and humid climate, right? As the people are facing in the western coastal plains. The northern part of these plains receive monsoon rains. Northern part means it is this eastern coastal plains divided into two, right? Northern Sircars and Coromandel coast. So the northern Sircars receives monsoon rains while the southern parts receive rainfall during the winter season. Fishing and farming again are the two main occupation for the people of this region, the eastern coastal plains. The seaside towns are popular tourist destinations. Ports are used for inland trades and foreign trades. Inland trades means the things are passing from one within the country, right? And the foreign trade means the goods are coming and going, imported and exported from the other part of the world, right? So let's see the islands. We have covered the northern and the eastern and the western coastline. Now it's time for islands. There are two main island groups. We all know the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the Bay of Bengal. Andaman and Nicobar Islands are in Bay of Bengal and Lakshadweep Islands are in Arabian Sea. Let's discuss the Andaman and Nicobar Island first. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands includes more than 500 islands that covers the area of 8,000 square kilometers. It covers 8,000 square kilometers of area. These islands have divided into two groups. The northern group called Andaman group or Andaman Islands and the southern group called Nicobar Islands. Yes, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands is the group of more than 500 islands, small islands. They are the part of this and it is divided into two, Andaman Island and Nicobar Island. Andaman Islands, again the northern part of the island and the Nicobar Islands are the southern part of the island and it is separated by 10-degree channel. 10-degree channel. The name of the channel is 10-degree channel which is at 10 degree and the width is 100 kilometers. 150 kilometers it is. This area is wider means 10-degree channel. This is 150 kilometers wider and it separates the Andaman Islands with the Nicobar Islands. This is the water body, means you can understand the islands are the land masses, right? Uh, Andaman is here, Nicobar is here, and between these two islands, the water is flowing. So this is called the channel, and it is at the 10 degrees. So that is why the name is given 10-degree channel. You will learn about the degrees in your higher classes, right? So here just learn the name with what is 10-degree channel. 10-degree channel that separates the Andaman Islands from the Nicobar Islands, right? And it is 100, this water which is flowing between these two islands, the width of this water is 150 kilometers. The capital is Port Blair. The capital of Andaman and Nicobar is Port Blair. These islands are covered with dense forest. Only a few of these islands are inhabited. Inhabited means the people are living on these islands, right? So only few of them are inhabited, some of which have tribal living in them even today. So tribe people are living there, and only few islands are inhabited. Now, small scale agriculture is practiced on these animals like farming and fishing. Farming and fishing is the main occupation, along with the shell and wooden handicrafts. People are collecting shells because they are staying on the coastline. They are collecting shells and making so many things with the shell. And wooden handicraft is the work done by the local people of the islands, right? Rice, coconuts, fruits, and vegetables are cultivated here. The climate is warm, but it is pleasant. As in the coastline, right? It is hot and humid. Here it is warm. Islands, it is warm, but it is pleasant. It rains for about 7 to 8 months in a year, right? They receive the islands receive heavy rainfall and about 7 to 8 months in a year. This is the picture of active volcano at Barren Island. Barren Island is the name of island, and this is the only active volcano in India. Now, Lakshadweep Islands. Lakshadweep is the smallest union territory. This is union territory of our country. With this, even Andaman and Nicobar Islands are also the union territory, and it is governed by president, right? So, Lakshadweep is the smallest union territory. India has 8 union territory, right? And out of 8, Lakshadweep is the smallest union territory of our country, and the capital is Kavaratti. This is the capital of Lakshadweep Island. It is the island or the group of island, more than 30 islands, right? Lakshadweep is a group of islands around 30, 32, 36 around. The Arabian Sea close to the Malabar coast and covers the area of 32 square kilometers. This is the area, 32 square kilometers. Only a few islands out of these are inhabited, right? The island group is composed of coral deposits. Coral is a microorganism that secretes the calcium carbonate. Most of the people here rely on agriculture for living. Again, farming or agriculture is the occupation. Coconut is the main crop that is cultivated here. Apart from coconut, rice, bananas and vegetables are also grown in these islands. Coconut is the main crop, right? And apart from coconut, what they are growing? They are growing rice, bananas and other vegetables. Fishing is again the most important activity or the main occupation of the people of the Lakshadweep Island. Another strong industry, it is tourism. It is tourism. Every year, lot of tourists visit the Lakshadweep Islands, right? So tourism is again their occupation. The climate here is warm. It rains heavily during the rainy season, right? Almost 8 to 10 months every year. The days are warm while the nights are pleasant. Days are warm and nights are pleasant, right? One does not feel the heat due to the cool sea breeze blowing through the island. Sea breeze, sorry. You all know the sea breeze. You must have learned in the science. Sea breeze and warm sea breeze, cool sea breeze and warm sea breeze, right? So, because of the cool sea breeze blown through the islands. So that's it for the islands and coastal plains. Let's revise what we have learned in this chapter. A coastal plain is a flat or low-lying land adjacent to the sea coast. It is lowland and it is adjacent to the sea coast. Now, the coastal plain in India comprise the western coastal plains and the eastern coastal plains. Western coastal plains again divided into three: Gujarat coast, Konkan coast and Malabar coast, and the eastern coastal plains divided into two: what? Coromandel coast and what was Northern Sirkars. Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal, whereas the Lakshadweep Islands are in Arabian Sea. Indira Point and the Barren Islands are located in the Andaman and Nicobar Island. Indira Point is the last point of India, right? And Barren Island is again, we have seen the picture of the active volcano. So Barren Island and Indira Point are the part of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Lakshadweep Islands are separated of coral deposits, right? Coral, I told you, it is a microorganism that secretes calcium carbonate. So let's do the question answers. Explain the division of western and eastern coastal plains. Name two ports of each of these plains. We have done that. Differentiate between western and eastern coastal plain, that you can do very easily. Describe the climate and vegetation of the western coastal plains. What is an island? Write a short note on Andaman and Nicobar Islands that you can do. What do you know about the Lakshadweep Islands? We have already done in details while explanation, kids. So would be appreciated if you will do on your own, right? So that's all for the coastal plains and the islands. Hope you have enjoyed the session and learnt about it. Connect you in the next class of SST. Till then, bye and take care.